Hello, everyone. I'm Elise.
And I'm Chloe.
And welcome to the Cool Down Room. It's race week, so let's talk about the Austin Grand Prix. Or the United States Grand Prix, whatever you want to call it.
I think it's funny how they call it the United States Grand Prix, considering
There's
that,
3 of them.
I know, but it's not the first one in this season.
know.
And they're just like, because we had Miami earlier this year,
Yeah.
and it's just like, they just say it like it's the first one, and I'm like, girl, we've been here before.
We've been here. We've been here.
Also, I also think it's because all of them are European, and
Yeah,
to a lot
well,
of
yeah.
Europeans, Texas is a country, not a state.
As California is
No,
a
right?
country, let's be so for real. I am a Californian. I'm sure I've said that before. If you don't know that about me, I think my vibe screams Californian. Also, if I had my way, then it would be Miami, Austin, Vegas, Mexico, because they would, if I had my way, they would go in from country to country and they wouldn't bounce around the world.
Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
frankly, I think that would be better for everyone. Kimmy and George will be racing for Mercedes again. Clap if you're shocked.
Yeah, nope.
We need to start putting like cricket noises in there every
Sure.
time we're all quiet.
I saw that and I was like, well, okay. Yuki getting stopped in the airport, is that like a height thing, or is that like people are like,
No, Chloe, it's because he's Asian.
oh. I assumed it would be like, because he's so short, people are like unaccompanied minor. I don't know. You just put that in there without any context, and I was like, why?
According to GrandPrix.com, he ran into travel problems again. I don't know if this is the most reliable website, but I also heard this on the internet grapevine that he was stopped in Austin too, like recently when he came in. I can't believe you thought. Oh wait.
Travel problems could also be like he had trouble going through customs.
Well, never mind. Google is telling me that like he didn't. So
Guess we'll never know.
I guess he didn't. I guess it was just the internet grapevine
Okay.
lying to me. But I cannot believe you thought that it was a height thing.
I don't know.
We have to clip that for a TikTok. That's
Yeah.
so funny. I'm sorry, that's so funny. Okay, I don't know if I need to say this on the podcast, but I was gonna tell Chloe this earlier and then I forgot. Logan Sargent was in my dream last night. I had
Yeah.
a dream that I was watching him race.
No, that makes sense. Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
moving on very quickly.
Sam off track was at Austin. They got paddock passes day of from Mercedes because they spotted them or like reached out to them. Their outfits slayed. Ate that up. We had Sam off track on the podcast last year, which is
I interviewed them. We should change our interview segment name. And we should really change it from Silly Season to like Trackside or something, because I don't know why we named that segment Silly Season.
You should go listen to that episode because it's actually
Go
really
listen
good.
to it. It's a
And
good
we were,
episode.
Like, we had been with the podcast. We had been doing this for like 2 months, and we literally already had a guest who's like pretty famous on TikTok. So that was like big.
Sam
deal.
rocks.
We
Shout out
should
Sam.
have them.
Sam is lovely and very fun.
They follow the podcast on Instagram, on YouTube. I'm pretty sure we should have them on a podcast again.
Follow Sam Off Track
Please
on
come
TikTok
down.
and
Yes.
Instagram.
I record it in terms of like the school year, the academic year for us. So I put We're in America for the first time all season. I meant like since school started for us in August. And this means that the Haas team really leans into like
Well,
Yeehaw
yeah.
America because we're in Texas. And all the F1 drivers get like custom boots and custom hats and are like, oh my God, we're in America.
Every time we're in Austin, I think of the video of Danny and Max when Danny was still at, I want to say this was Danny and Max, when Danny was still at Red Bull and they like, watch me be so wrong. And they did, there was like a clip of them in what looked like a boot barn or something, like with hats and boots, like just like walking.
Yeah. No.
Maybe I'm
I
really
think
wrong about
no,
who
I
was
think
in that
you're
video.
right. It's either Danny and Max when he was at Red Bull or Danny and Lando when he was at McLaren. It's one of the two.
One of those, but I swear to God it was Max. Okay.
Shabuzi designed V-Carb's car and resuits for the weekend.
I didn't know this.
I learned this.
I
and-
barely know who Shabuzi is.
I want to put this out there. There's
Who
a
the
lot
fuck
of
is that?
controversy about whether or not he's an actual country artist because people put it under like pop instead of.
Oh, that guy.
He was at Austin. A lot of
Wait.
celebrities are out at Austin. Adele pulled up to the Mercedes
he did so
paddock. I was like,
riot?
why
That's
is
not his
Adele in Austin, Texas? Anyway, he designed their like
Oh, sorry. He has a song that I hate. That's
Yeah.
why I know who he is.
he It was like a brown and white and tan camo design.
Ew.
And I just found it really interesting that he was the one who designed that. Anyway,
Why Shibuya?
no comment.
Okay. Moving swiftly forward. Red Bull got fined because they
Yes.
tampered with grid tape.
They got fined
Was in
$50,000
euros? I
Yep.
mix up euros and pounds way too much. For someone who routinely watches European sports. A Red Bull team member apparently removed tape that McLaren had put down that they were using to make sure Lando got to the right spot on the grid. It was supposed to guide him into being in the right spot and being in the best spot because there's really low visibility in the
Yeah.
cockpit, and Red Bull moved it or took it off, and I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was on accident, but it's really funny
Yeah.
either way.
Okay, into FP1. By the way, this is a sprint weekend, so there's less events, but that doesn't mean that our script is any shorter.
No, it's the same amount of events.
No, we don't have FP1, 2, 3. There's just one.
Yeah. FP 2 and 3 get replaced.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the same amount of
Yeah.
events.
Anyway.
I'm just gonna move on. Yeah, there was a heat hazard, guys. It was 33 degrees Celsius. Or in freedom measurements for those of us who live in America, it was 91 degrees
Yeah. In October.
in October. You know what? Global warming, because that is not rational. It should be 65 at the highest, and
Yeah.
that is coming from me, okay? I hate the cold. It should be 65 at the highest.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'll even go as far as to say 70. It should not be 91. Austin, fix yourself and fix global warming.
Isaac's engineer
I'm
kept saying
so
that
tired.
that Valtteri was on track, and Isaac was mad about it. He was like,
Isaac
"Girl, what are you
fully-
talking about?" He was
Isaac
like, "No,"
fully had to go stop it.
because they kept saying "Oh, watch out!" Bottas is on track, and Isaac was just like, "Girl, what are you talking
I
about?"
can't even imagine who they meant. Did they mean another Mercedes driver?
Yeah, maybe.
Question mark.
I don't know what his engineer was going through, but Lance lost a tiny bit of his car, just a little bit,
Just
and they put a red flag out for it because
wait, how big? Like a
little
Reese's Pieces size, or like a fun size Twix? I'm
I'm
hungry.
using candy as a reference for this.
I'm hungry.
I would say it was like
like
a full size Hershey bar size,
okay. Wait, the full size ones or the king size ones?
like a full size.
Okay.
And they were just debris on track. They were and Lance Stroll loses a little bit of his car. They weren't really they were like,
It's like
huh.
a chip, just a pinch.
They're like, okay, but don't really know how that happened, but whatever. Lewis was having issues. What's new with his car? But
What is new? That man has got to be so.
Also-
Didn't he send a letter to Ferrari officials and higher ups telling them to get their act together?
yeah, I think so. I should also point out something about the Austin track is that there's a huge hill, a huge one. So obviously they go up one side and down the other, which means that and then they go down the corner and then they go down the hill and then it's just hairpin turn immediately. So it's a very chaotic track. And the first turn of the track is also really tight and not fun. Esteban's brake got stuck. He was just
Fully stuck. 100%.
it was
stuck.
just stuck.
Yeah.
Kimmy got salty when
He
Alex
was
blocked
mad.
I don't know what was going on with Kimmy. He's been salty recently. I feel like the whole season people have been he's just the pure rookie who's just doing really well. He was salty.
Okay.
Maybe he didn't want to be in America. Don't
Can
blame him.
I-
But
Can I be so for real right now? People do this to Yuki too.
yeah.
Categorizing any rookie, especially Kimmy and Yuki, and being they're Yuki has a lot of rage, but he's pure, he's innocent. Shut the up. That is a grown man. I'm sorry. Kimmy Antonelli is 19 years old.
Yeah.
He is not pure. That is a 19-year-old boy.
Yeah.
No 19-year-old boy is pure. He probably laughs at 6'7". I am
That-
sorry, Tamar just No,
No.
do not be. That was so funny. Our like social media, Tamar just like looks up and like looked at me like I had like grown a second head.
No, because it's funny.
It's funny, and I stand by that take.
My parents have done research on 6'7". It means literally
It
nothing.
means nothing. Our
just
humor
there.
as a generation is broken. I laughed at it like genuinely for the first time on Saturday. Charles is cursed. This is I say this because it's our next note, but Charles is cursed as fuck. Charles goes, "What happened? Can I shift or not?" The 7th gear wasn't going in. His engineer goes, "We'll get back to you." He responds with, "There's oil smell." Like, he paused.
Get out of the car.
And he had to get out. They were like, "Get the up out of there."
Nico P2. Yeah. Fernando P4. I was just like, hey.
Hell yeah. And then they duked it out. Gabriel got his lap time deleted for track limits.
A lot of people did.
A
Like,
lot of
so many
people did. Like, that was very common. I
The
fear.
commentators were just like skeptical about him because his car was all over the place. They were like, and he was like handling it pretty well, and they were just like, whoa, okay, like, okay. I don't even know. I just kind of wrote that down there because I didn't have any notes, and I was like, I have to write down something. I fear.
I'm still thinking about me saying giving Antonelli probably laughs at 6'7".
The commentators were like shocked that the drivers kind of turned quali into sprint quali, even not even actual quali, into a race.
It was just a race.
They were just like elbows out. Let's go.
The entire time. Charles was elbows out the entire weekend. Like, that man was fighting.
Yeah.
We'll get to it later, but during the race, he was like defending from Lewis like he would die if Lewis passed him. Like, it was nuts. Okay, SQ2, sprint quali 2.
The way I read this, by the way, is squitoo.
SQ2. Isaac got hit for track limits. Shocker.
Whoa.
Everyone's, as I
Hit the wall.
hit the wall. Everyone's like biggest enemy.
This whole weekend was like domino effect because then that
literally.
demoted Charles, and then Nico was in P5 because of that. It was just like boom, 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 boom.
No, literally.
There
was
was
some-
the commentator said Nico was loving the balance of his car in contrast to Charles Leclerc, who was not having fun at all. And I was like,
Someone
"Aw."
needs to get the Etsy witches on this.
Yeah.
Someone.
And then Liam was mad at himself, question mark? I don't know who he was mad at for going over the traffic limits. He was just like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, who are you talking to, baby girl?
He's talking to himself. We all do it.
I was like, okay. And then his engineer, to make it work, to rub salt in the wound, his engineer goes, we also have track limits at turn 19. And he was just like, oh, maybe it was the car that was sitting in the middle of the fucking road.
I think every driver deserves to have like one moment that doesn't get added to their time where they get to like turn on a light or something and they pull over on the side of the road, get out of the car, just primal scream, and then get back in the car. And once they turn the light off, their time starts again, so it doesn't count towards their lap. And then you only get to use it once per weekend.
Yeah. Or they have like one swear word they can use that doesn't add to their fine.
Are they still fining for swear
I
words?
don't know. But like at the beginning
we
of
owe the
season, I
FIA
remember that was,
millions of dollars. Our debt to the FIA is greater than our student loans.
I should add that Liam is the only driver who has an American girlfriend, and she was like Hannah was like in her element.
Good for her.
Because all the other, you gotta love like the European like dress up to go anywhere like mentality. All the other like wags, they were like embracing the like American like let's wear cowboy boots and a hat, but like a really chic outfit. And then there were some of them who were just like fully not getting that vibe and just like so fancy. And I was like, girl.
Dripped out.
I was like, girl,
It's-
there's dust
if there is
everywhere.
ever a race to wear jeans and boots, it is Austin.
No, and I was like, girl, there's dust everywhere, and your skirt is white.
Oh, I didn't see any of their
Well,
outfits.
Rebecca was
this
wearing
weekend.
black. It was really cute, but she was wearing like a black chic top and then a white mini skirt and black kitten heels, and I was like, yo, skirt is
I
going to get.
love a color sandwich. Also, all I'm picturing right now is an Oreo. But you can't. I'm sorry. There's so much dust. You're so screwed.
Oh yeah, no. The rest of them wore pants. They got the memo. Rebecca, please wear pants next time.
I promise.
Praying
It's
for your
hot.
shoes.
Or shorts because it was really hot.
Yeah.
Squid 3. Well, I was going to say, one
Oh,
of the
yeah.
commentators goes, this is so off topic, but one of the commentators goes, can Lewis Hamilton progress and demote the man who replaced him in Mercedes? Okay. That just felt like such a way to say that. Like,
Yeah.
it just made me laugh. Dude, there were 4 minutes left in Squid 3, and I'm going to start saying that now. And I really thought George was going to get pole.
No, right? Yeah,
I
me too.
really thought.
Nico was in pole for a hot second. I like looked up and I was like, whoa, okay.
Nico Hulkenberg for the win, actually.
No, right?
I think, you know what? I think Nico Hulkenberg should be the WDC this year.
Oh my God.
Like,
I have
points gone. We just clear all the points and Nico gets to win.
I forgot to tell you this, but my family and I were driving back from Niagara on Sunday, and we stopped at a gas station, and whatever company, like the gas company, is one of the sponsors for Kick Sauber, and there was a sign with like the F1 car on it. My parents were like, "Is that a real F1 team?" And I was like, "Girl, what do you think?"
What do you think?
I was like, "No, it's AI."
I think I've said this before on the podcast, but if I pass when I'm in like the airport or like at the mall, if I pass an ad that has an F1 driver in it, I'll wave.
Yep.
Like, I'll wave and I'll be like, hi, Lando. Because I used to work at Kate Spade and there was like a Toomey or whatever right next to us and he did like suitcases with them.
Yeah.
So every day on my way into work, I would go, hi, Lando. And every time I left, I would go, bye, Lando. Because I think I'm funny. The commentators were talking about Nico like enjoying his life in his car, which honestly works in his favor to like, look at that man. He's loving his life. Because everybody else has to lock in.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Nico's
all
just
of
kind
the
of live,
other...
Live, laugh, life.
Yeah, all of the other like mid or back of the field teams, or other than like Fernando and I guess Lance, all of them are either younger or rookies or new to the team.
Yeah.
Like even Alex, I would say has to lock in,
Mhm.
even though he's not necessarily new to the team. He's not a rookie. He's not like among the youngest on the grid. Nico Hulkenberg has done his time.
Oh yeah. No.
Like, that man has been in that car specifically and on the grid for long enough that, like, he can enjoy his life.
Yeah.
He knows he's not leaving.
Yeah. Max got pole at like
And also he
absolute
drives
last
for
minute.
Sauber, so no one has any expectations.
Yeah.
Which is mean but true.
Max got pole at like the last possible minute. So
Yeah, I was really hoping for George.
yeah, me too, Loki.
I think we all were. I want George to win.
Yeah. Okay.
I think George should be I just said it. I think George should be the WDC. Him or
Yeah.
Nico.
Sprint race.
We have the first note is Chloe being like,
yeah.
I think this is the first sprint race we're covering this season. And I responded to that. And I said, I can't explain why I know this because I never remember what weekends are sprint races, but I don't think that's true. I just felt it. We looked it up. Miami is a sprint race and we covered Miami together.
It's just a shorter race. Only 19 laps instead of like 54 or whatever.
And they can't pit stop.
Yeah.
They like have to stay out the entire time.
And oh my God, was it chaotic. Nico hit Oscar.
Dude.
Oscar hit Lando. Both McLarens out at the same time. It was literally
Okay,
like
wait.
domino. You could see them
Immediate
just, like,
chaos.
Boom, boom, boom.
Literally right at like the first turn too. I want to say it was the first turn. Let me like explain this in the detail in which I took my notes. So Nico goes into Oscar, right? Well, okay, to be fair, Oscar kind of hit Nico. But Nico and Oscar collide. And then Oscar bounces off of Nico, hits Lando, and Nico moves. And as Nico and Oscar are bouncing off of each other, Nico hit Fernando. So
Yeah, I don't even know.
someone's wheel goes rolling down the track
That
like a
was
tumbleweed.
So funny. It was
And
so funny.
Nico lost his front wing. And after all of this, Fernando, Oscar, and Lando are out, and there's a yellow flag and a safety car. Nico was the only one to survive unscathed.
He was just like,
Relatively
damn,
unscathed.
okay.
He just
Bye.
moved on. Like, they just gave him a new front wing, and he moved on.
He said, peace out. I have a race to finish.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Oscar just went to his driver's
The
room.
commentators were collectively freaking out. You could hear the entire commentator box just like losing it. And then, of course, after all of this, Oscar's engineer goes, "We might have possible suspension damage," and he goes, yeah, we do."
Yeah, I'm sorry, you think?
Yeah. And then one of the commentator goes, "It's like demolition derby out here," and I was just like,
Well, because
Okay.
Charles is like trying to get up and that man was fighting.
Yeah, he was fighting.
He
for his
had
life.
something to like. Who said? What did they say to Charles before this weekend started? Because he was like elbows out the entire time.
Oh yeah, no, he was like, let's fight.
He was ready to
Um,
go.
George was trying to pass Max, and Max like fully had to go off the track to make sure that he didn't hit him. So George was trying to pass Max, and Max didn't want to crash into him, so Max went like fully off the track into the grass, and then
Yeah.
passed George, and then
Which is going off the track and gaining an advantage.
Max got mad because he was like, the hell, I almost just hit him, and his engineers were like, oh well, it was his fault.
Okay, was it? Maybe. On the other hand, that is still going off track and gaining an advantage, is it not?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I guess he just took the place back, but whatever.
Ferrari's duking it out.
Dude, Charles was fighting with everybody, but like, especially Lewis.
Yeah,
I
which makes me sad.
know. I want to know what was said to Charles.
Yeah.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall in the Ferrari garage.
Yup.
Kimmy and Ollie started duking it out too, and the stewards put Ollie under investigation for leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
Which, when they did that, I was like, uh-oh, somebody only has one more penalty left before he gets his license suspended.
Well, because he got a 10-second penalty.
Yeah.
Wait, what is he? I thought he had like 12 penalty points.
You get 12 and then your license is suspended. He's at 10. Maybe now he's at 12.
Wait, yeah, he still is 10.
Yeah, so he,
Well, wait, two of these points expire on November 3rd, 2025.
if he doesn't do anything more than those two expire, then he
Apparently, he literally said, I thought I had a race ban for a minute. He was terrified he was going to get a race ban.
Yeah, no.
Just like the rest of us. Like,
Yep.
come on.
Esteban and Lance collided, and then Lance's tire was like barely hanging on, like by a thread, and he still had to drive back to the pits like on 3 tires fully.
I couldn't even tell whose fault that was.
Me neither.
Like, it looked like Lance had, like, locked up and wasn't able to turn. And then when Esteban was turning, they, like, crashed.
yeah, I don't even know.
Like, T-boned.
Quali.
Isaac out
Isaac in
immediately.
the barriers immediately.
Immediately.
It was giving Australia. He was mad. Like,
I would be too.
well, yeah, but like,
Well, because it, like, skipped. Like, the car skipped and, like,
Yeah.
put him into oversteer. And in the video, you just see him fly backwards.
it's like scary
like
to
fully
watch.
like
it was
in
like a big crash.
reverse into the wall. Lando had to abandon his lap because he had a moment.
He had a moment.
And then Kimmy had a moment in the same place. So I think it was just the wind like bouncing them around because it would like pick up especially around that corner.
yeah.
And so cuz the wind was like nuts.
Alex's time got deleted. Not the first time that happened that weekend.
And it was not the last. Like
He was very calm about it, which I was honestly kind of surprised. He said, like, the engineer came over his headset and was just like, hey, so just so you know, like, we have track limits here. And he was just like, oh, can you look into that more? And they did. And they were like, yeah, it's true. And he was just like, oh, okay. Damn.
Q2. Q2. Lando needed like a full steering wheel swap. His left grip just like came off. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
Like I guess wear and tear or whatever, but like it's like when the tape came off the other weekend. Ollie had a moment. They didn't say what it was. I fear they kind of do
Sometimes
that.
they'll just be like, and Ollie Behrman's headed back to the pits, and you're like, but why?
But why? Like, do you know? Because I don't.
Yeah. Oscar had to change his tires like near the end of Q2, which slowed him down so much. Oscar was having a weekend. I don't know what was in the air, but he was just like not having a good weekend.
Max
Max is flying. Oh my god.
Red
I don't
Bull
know
put
what-
something in their car.
There's something new in the red, and only his Red Bull.
This is a
he's just-
terrible joke, but Red Bull put like speed in Max's car.
Red Bull put Red Bull in their car. Gives you wings.
How did I not think of that? I really thought of like speed, the drug, before I thought
am
of Red
speed.
Bull.
Oscar being at the same pace as Ollie is crazy work.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why is I'm sorry.
Why are you back there?
Why is a McLaren the same pace as a Haas?
Charles did a pirouette. It's giving ballerina.
And yet he was still in P2
Yeah.
for like 2 minutes before he went back down to P3. But he still made it out of that pirouette and like was in P2. So you know what? Hell yeah.
Max got pole. He said that was simply lovely, and I was like, oh, this is giving. It's like throwback.
That's like his
Throwback
thing.
segment. Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. It's like his thing.
Okay, now we're actually in the race.
Now we're actually at the race. It's been 30 minutes. Charles, I did not write that as P2, and I was so confused when I just read that. But Charles took like P2 immediately, and it was so smooth. It was a baller move.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. I have such a nonsense note in here about they have like cameras on the backs of the cars, but they have them on like the bottom back of the cars too, closer to the
Yeah.
track. And this was the first time I've ever seen them use them. And I was so confused. Like I had to replay it and be
You're
like,
like,
was
"Girl,
that AI generated?
Girl, where
Like,
are we?
It didn't look real.
Yeah. Alex went off after he and Gabby made it to, or after they collided. But
He
didn't
came
come
back. He just was P20.
Yeah. And then Carlos passed Ollie and then immediately got out because of a mechanical issue or something.
Yeah. Carlos.
And I was just like, karma.
Wait. Yeah. Carlos passes Ollie on lap 2. And then on lap 7, he got out
Yeah.
because he hit Kimmy. And Kimmy goes, he took me out. What a idiot. And I was like, hello. Kimmy swearing?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I went on a whole thing about this in my head. I don't know if I wrote this down, but when I was watching this, the commentators said, well, he telegraphed it a bit there, didn't he? And Carlos said, sorry guys, Antonelli just turned in there at the end. And I wrote in here, I was like, come on now. That was on Carlos.
Yeah.
That was Carlos's fault. Don't even play with me.
No, right?
Do not play with me, okay? That was not Kimmy's fault.
Also, after that happened, you can see the marshals sprint
Running
down the hill to Carlos's car, and I just thought it was really funny because he's just like chilling in the car, like waiting for further instruction, and they're like running.
They were sprinting.
It
I
was
was like,
really
y'all
funny.
are moving. Y'all are moving and grooving.
Charles and Lando like duking it out for like 5 minutes.
Lando almost pulled on his handbrake. And
Yeah.
they were one of the commentators starts like laughing mid-sentence, and they were like, if you're wondering why I'm laughing, it's because Lando almost just pulled on his handbrake so that he wouldn't like go off track, and then he breached track limits anyway. And his engineer goes, so I know you're busy,
And he's
but
just like, I know.
I know. Well, because Lando started talking and his engineer was like, I know, I get it. But, like, they did give us a black and white flag.
Yeah. Charles was just fighting his inner demons and everybody else's inner demons, apparently.
Someone said something to Charles Leclerc this weekend. And I want to know what it
Leo
was.
and Alex were there, and Leo was wearing a cowboy hat all weekend.
That's so
I
cute.
have to show you the video. It's so cute.
We got to clip
Somebody
that in
gave
because
Alex
that's adorable.
a cowboy hat for Leo, and she put it on, and he wore it all weekend, and it matched his harness.
That is the cutest thing I have ever heard in my
He
life.
also, like, smelled the barbecue in the food trucks, so he, like, would not stop, like...
Yeah.
He was just...
Speaking of pets, I think if we ever do a professional photos, we should get photos of Susie taken too as the podcast mascot.
Yeah.
She's
Lando-
literally named after Susie Wolf. Like,
She
I named my
literally
cat after Susie Wolf.
Lando had, like, kind of a bad pit, but it wasn't, like, terrible. It was just
awful.
slow.
It was just slow. Ollie, okay, I want to describe this because I had to like rewatch this like 3 times to get this right. Ollie is like chasing Yuki, right? And he goes off the track, spins, and barely misses Yuki while spinning around him, right? Ollie spins in front of Yuki, and then as Ollie goes around and like off the track, Yuki drives straight through where Ollie used to be. It was the smoothest thing I've ever seen. It was beautiful to watch.
It was
if
great.
you can go find that
We've
clip,
seen the Haas Ballerina edits. It's true.
Yeah.
They're
I don't think we can put that clip in the podcast in like the YouTube for copyright reasons, but if you can go find that clip, go watch it because it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it was like a piece of art. Poetry in motion. Like it was beautiful to watch. You're laughing at me?
No, it's just funny the way you phrased it.
I'm right.
Yeah.
It was incredible to watch. It was so beautiful.
Anyway.
It looked like the start of a TikTok edit.
Max won, which means that the point... So, okay. In, over the summer, the point gap between Oscar and Max was 104. And now it's 44. That's scary.
I want Max to win so that McLaren has taught a lesson about letting their drivers fight because I think you know what? This is my next note. I have said this before, I will say it again. I think that if Lando and Oscar don't win WDC this year, like if one of them doesn't win this year, it will be because McLaren doesn't let them fight.
Yeah.
Because if McLaren is still telling them like, "Oh, we're trying to keep things fair. We're trying to keep things even, blah, blah, blah. No, neither of them are going to win like that because the points gap between Lando and Oscar is slowly going to close and get closer and closer, but Max is catching up, right?
Yeah.
So as Lando and Oscar are getting closer, Max is getting closer too. And eventually it gets to a point where, let's say we're at Abu Dhabi, Lando and Oscar have like a 10-point gap, and Max is 5 points behind Lando, if that's even mathematically possible. Max wins Abu Dhabi, he becomes WDC again.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where you have to let your drivers fight, because if they're not fighting, then I don't think they're going to be able to build up that gap, which is what they need to do.
Oh, yeah, no.
They either need to let Lando and Oscar fight, or they need to say, okay, decide which one of you is going to win this year.
Okay.
Decide which one of you we're focusing on and which one of you is building that points gap, because they need to do that. Or otherwise, Lando and Oscar, neither one of them is going to win, and it's going to be a lesson to McLaren, and I think they need that reality check. Get me in a room with Andrea Stella and Chris Brown. Zach Brown?
Who's Chris Brown?
Isn't he a country singer?
No, he's an artist. Zach Brown is the country singer. Zach Bryan? Luke Bryan. Zach.
No. Chris Brown is still a singer.
He's a singer, but he's not a good one.
That is all that we have for you today. We will be back in here next week for the Mexico Grand Prix, which is all in the afternoon.
Thank
you,
God.
Jesus Christ. Until then, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Ithaca Cooldown Room.
And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video.
That being said, I'm Elise.
And I'm Chloe.
And we will see you very soon. Have a beautiful week. Mwah.